Welcome back to the Gore Guide. Today I'm going to be talking about 5 seasons, the 5 gates to hell. I wonder why hell has so many gates.
Hello?
Hi, is that maintenance?
Yeah. Yes, it is, yeah. Is that Stan?
How many times do I have to tell you? My name's not Stan, it's Satan.
Alright. Keep your wig on. How can I help you?
I lost my keys again. I'm gonna need another gate.
Five Seasons is a 2015 German film directed and written by Olaf Ittenbach, starring Julia Streich, Armin Barvik and Glenda Graves. Gaining notoriety early in his career with low-budget splatterfests, Black Past, The Burning Moon and Prometheus, Olaf Ittenbach has since become synonymous with gory practical effects. Germany's produced many extreme gore and splatter films, so it's quite surprising that its approach to censorship is quite strict. The reason I'm bringing this up, apart from the fact that it's quite interesting, is that 5 Seasons in its uncut form is not easy to come across. The first copy I bought was the 66-minute version, this one. It's advertised in many places as totally uncut, but believe me, it's not. It's so heavily cut, it's just frustrating, beyond frustrating. After I'd finished watching it, I just wanted to throw it out the window. So if you're interested in watching this film, don't buy this one. There is a media book. This is one of the covers on it. Each one is individually numbered. I have 793. It comes with a Blu-ray and a DVD version, and it also comes with behind-the-scenes pictures and stories in German, unfortunately. It looks really good and it's worth it. But more importantly than how it looks, it is totally uncut. So, that being said, let's get into it. Clara's child is raped and murdered, but the person responsible isn't charged. Angry at the court system that let her child's killer walk free, she meets 4 other people that have suffered similar losses. As each of them gets their chance to quench their thirst for retribution, the line between right and wrong begins to blur. When they've had their revenge, will they be able to live with what they've done? And are they any better than the monsters that took their children? Let's start with the obvious, the gore. If you're familiar with Ittenbach's work, then you should have some idea what to expect from this film. And this is Ittenbach at the top of his game. The effects are amazing. The torture methods are inventive. The gore is almost non-stop. And everything is shown in full detail. Ittenbach never shies away from showing us the evils of mankind. So having a story that is based around child raping murderers and the parents of the victims getting their revenge gives him every opportunity to go as dark and extreme as possible. I know some people don't like the fact that the fate of the victim is shown as well as the fate of the killer, but I felt it was necessary to kind of balance things out. Knowing in detail what these people did to these children makes the excessive torture scenes much more acceptable. While most of the acting is average at best, Markus Hettich does a really good job as one of the killers. I'm not sure if this is a compliment or not to say, but he's really convincing as a creepy paedophile. Although Ittenbach is fairly well known by underground standards, he's still essentially an underground filmmaker, which means that production values are low. A lot of the scenes are set in a basement, so the set design is minimal and the lighting is pretty terrible, but luckily it's too bright and not too dark, so at least you can see what is happening. It also feels like the cast were told to just wear whatever you want, because some of the clothing choices were questionable. Like, who goes into a basement knowing that they're going to torture and probably kill somebody, looking like they've just stepped out of church or a strip club? The story is unoriginal but acceptable as the basis for revenge. The main trouble is that none of the releases have any English subtitles or dubbing or anything. so it's very difficult for me to comment on the script or the dialogue. And I really don't understand the decision behind this. Do they seriously think that nobody outside of Germany wants to watch this film? How difficult would it have been to just throw some subtitles on? It seems lazy. The plot is simple, and I'm sure I didn't miss anything important, but it's still very frustrating not being able to follow exactly what's going on. I ended up zoning out during several of the scenes with dialogue. I was just waiting for the next death or torture scene. Also, each of the killers is introduced with a profile page, which for one is lazy, but also it's all in German, so a lot of background information is lost. Maybe, I don't know, because I don't know what it says. Because of the language barrier, I didn't really understand the scenes that were set in the past, but again, I don't think it was massively important, and I don't think I missed out on much. Are you sensing a theme here? Can you tell that I'm pretty pissed that they couldn't be bothered to put subtitles on this film? I feel like if you're going to pay quite a lot of money for a film, it seems like it's not a lot to ask for. It feels a bit strange to say that my personal favourite kill is of one of the children, but this is based entirely on special effects. The scene where the little girl is hacked to pieces by the farmer guy is brutal, but some of the best effects I think I've ever seen. I would also like to add a content warning. Obviously this is a film about child rapists and murderers, and the gore is very graphic, and there are a couple of rape scenes that, although they're not graphic, they are still there. So if you're thinking about watching this film, just be aware of that. As I mentioned earlier, this is Ittenbach at the top of his game, so the effects are amazing. And for that reason, I would give it a 5 for the amount of blood, and also a 5 for the quality of effects. Having watched the heavily cut 66-minute version first, it's fair to say that I definitely didn't watch this film for anything other than the gore. The lack of subtitles obviously didn't help this, and there were several times when I just stopped paying attention. But luckily the inventive torture scenes and the great practical effects saved this film from being hurled at a passerby. So my overall rating would be 2.5 stars. Pay attention, Ittenbach. If you put some subtitles on, you would have got more. And that's it. That's 5 seasons. If you like gory revenge films, you should definitely check it out. So for my next video, I'm going to be using the random number generator to choose a film from my Letterboxd list. So let's take a look and see what we have coming up. Okay, we have 1967. So I'm just going to go and find that in my list and I'll be right back. Okay, 1967 is Samurai Cop. I haven't seen this before, but I have seen that on many lists about films that are so bad they're good. So it should be interesting. Make sure you check it out. You can take a look at my list on Letterboxd. I'll put the link in the description below. Leave a comment if you have any recommendations or suggestions of films that you think I might have missed. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and click on the bell to keep up to date with new content. Thanks for watching, and until next video, have a bloody good time.